Chris Young, the Canadian Pressit, has been quite a week for Toronto FC. A grueling CONCACAF Champions League campaign came to an end with a decimated team from injury and a heartbreaking defeat in penalty kicks. After sacrificing matches for the Champions League, resting starters for their recent MLS matches, Toronto FC sat dead last in the league coming into Saturday's fixture against the Chicago Fire. The Reds' struggles continued on this day, as a 2-2 draw was the end result. The match started off with a beautiful tribute and a moment of silence in solidarity for the victims of a violent attack earlier in the week that claimed the lives of 10 people in Toronto. Toronto FC went with much of the same lineup as the midweek match against Chivas Guadalajara, which included a makeshift back four. Gregory Van der Wiel and Michael Bradley acted as center-backs for the second straight game as all of Toronto's natural central defenders were injured. The match started off well for TFC, who had most of the possession early on. Jonathan Osorio opened the scoring 8 minutes in. A through ball from Vázquez found Giovinco, who passed across the back post where a sliding Osorio made no mistake. The Canadian youngster was the top scorer of the Champions League tournament and is playing the best football in his career. In the 13th minute it should have been 2-0 for the hosts as Giovinco worked a great give-and-go with Nico Hasseler. The goal, however, was overturned by VAR, more on that in a moment. Soon after, in the 22nd minute, Victor Vázquez hit a cheeky lob over goalie Richard Sanchez to make it 2-0. The Chicago Fire, despite the lack of possession, were no pushovers. Alex Bono was called into action early on with an excellent save off a counter-attack. VAR was called into action for the second time in the 37th minute when Ashton Morgan was called for a foul in the box. Step Bayern Munich legend Bastian Schweinsteiger, but Bono was step for step with the German as he dove to his right and parried the ball away. Sokolowski, USA Today Sports. It seemed like a much-needed win for Toronto FC in the second half, but a moment in the 69th minute turned the game on its head. The cross into the area was deflected by Nemanja Nikolic and then found the head of Bastian Schweinsteiger. The Serbian seemed to be in offside position when he deflected the cross to the German. Referee Alan Kelly not consult video replay this time, and it had a major effect the rest of the way. Toronto FC kept surging forward with shot after shot, but no goal came. Then in the 94th minute, sloppy defending, again from across from the right, Alan Gordon slotted the ball in to tie the game. This puts Toronto FC at a 1-4-1 record, still last in the league. Reds coach Greg Vanney was not too fond of the way the referee utilized VAR, stating post-game, "He certainly took his time to review our goal. I think that would be respectful to do the same for us and didn't. I think, as I look at it back, he's offside. Everybody that I know of understands the interpretation of the rule. Player who is offside, in front of the goal and attempts to make a play on the goal, and affects the potential decision-making of anybody around it, is offside. That's their first goal. That leads to momentum shift a touch because now they're back at 2-1 instead of 2-0. Michael Bradley also echoed the same sentiments of frustration, saying post-game, "Nobody has any idea what VAR is, when it can be used, when it can't be used. Check takes 5 minutes, sometimes 5 seconds. It's a joke." Bradley has played in a similar role and style as Leonardo Bonucci, a ball-playing centre-back over the last 2 games. The bounces have clearly not gone Toronto's way over the last week, and the draw puts them further behind the pack to retain their supporters' shield. There is still plenty of time left in the season, and what is paramount right now is the health of the squad. The Reds are no strangers to adversity, but this period will definitely test the team in new ways. Greg Vanney's men have always been able to bounce back. They'll have to do so quickly as their next match comes up this Friday at BMO Field against the Philadelphia Union. Bradley Giovinco, Toronto FC.